Hello everybody, here we are back for the very first video of 2024. If we haven't met before, my name is Julianne and I vlog here from my home, mostly in South Australia. And my dog is at my feet. He's brought his toys in. I had a lot of new subscribers during my Vlogmas period in December, so that was really exciting to see. Thank you so much for joining us here in this my little corner of the internet. And if we have met before, welcome back as well. So I am up in my second bedroom this morning. I'm just trying to record this while it's not too hot. Today is going to be a high of 35 degrees, so I don't think I want to be upstairs for too long today. And basically I wanted to outline my plans for this year. So I am going to be doing a stash down of sorts, and this is because I have too much yarn and fabric taking up too much space in this particular room. This room was always going to be, because we only have 2 bedrooms in our home, obviously we sleep in one, and this room was always planned to be our study. I did a little bit of filming in here yesterday, just showing a little bit around what I am dealing with here. First we can see Elvis. Elvis, hi, how you doing? You my little friend? Yeah, you're my little friend. Alright, so brief tour. Fabric in a space bag, fabric in a container, yarn in a container. That is garment fabric, and I don't really sew garments that much anymore, so I probably should either get rid of that or actually sew things out of it. That is more pre-cuts and more quilting fabric. That is my all my project bags are in that bag. This black and pink one, that is full of fibre. That blue container back there is the polyester wadding, which I don't think I'll be using. And back in there behind where you can see that folio there are 2 containers, big containers in there, like sort of this size container. 2 of them in there. One of them was for my work. I used to keep all my undyed yarn in it. So I spoke about that in Vlogmas, where I was getting all my undyed yarn into my wall unit, because I used to keep it in that tub, but obviously it's packed right into the corner there, and these things are heavy. Guys, these are heavy. So I can't get in there. So I think there's another tub of yarn in there, more of my yarn stash, plus a tub that probably has virtually nothing in it, because all my undyed yarn has probably been used out of it. That's my craft trolley there, so I'm keeping that. Up on top there is all my shop yarn, or basically most of my shop yarn. I think there is one that's just singles leftovers that I've been saving for a project. So that is full of yarn up there, which is obviously for my business, so you know that kind of has to stay until it gets sold. I would much rather it get sold than be in my house. But then I've got a bunch of stuff here. I'm not entirely sure if there's any rhyme or reason to any of that. I think the top one might just be cotton, so like for washcloths and things like that. So like that's for knitting and crochet cotton, so it's thicker like weight. It's more like DK worsted weight cotton. This one here is my weaving cotton, so it's like your 8-2 thread cotton, and I'm not sure what's in the bottom. I think it's just a bunch of probably more cotton and a bit of leftovers of other random bits of yarn. So as you can see, that takes up a whole bunch of space, and it's space we do not have. And if I turn around here, I have spinning wheel there. That one probably needs to find a new home. My Crazy Monkey skein winder, it's a powered one, so hence the transformer. My overlocker up here. For the moment, I've put my other windmill Swift that matches the Crazy Monkey. They're both Crazy Monkey brand. And then over the back there, I've got a Wee Peggy and I've got a Pippi Wendy spinning wheel. And on top of that, I have another space bag of fabric and more in my bedroom, plus my loom and things like that, or one of my looms. So yeah, so I have a lot of stash, and this is only quite a small room. I don't know exactly what the size is. Maybe I'll chuck in a little architect drawing of what this room is so that you can see how little space we're actually working with. Our overall house is not very big. I think it's only about 100 meters squared, and I think in feet, I think we're approximately 800 square feet for our entire house. So we don't have a big house, which is fine. It's easy to look after. I much prefer to be in a smaller house, although I would prefer to have my own studio with just one room that's all mine. But yeah, Simon and I are going to be sharing this room eventually. We will both have, we're intending to have a wall-to-wall desk that we are going to build in shelves on the walls. Obviously we need money for this, which is quite tight at the moment, so I don't know when it's going to happen. But yes, this will be a study. We will both have a work area where we can set up our computers and we can store books on the wall, and this wall here behind me is probably going to be where I hang like my loom on the wall and probably my warping board. But yeah, we've just got plans for this room, but currently right now it is just full of stuff. Not entirely full because I got quite a bit out yesterday. But yeah, Simon and I both have too much stuff. And I mean, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and say that my stuff is probably more important, because mine is actually, most of what is being of mine in this room that's taking up space is fabric, batting, yarn, and tools to use those things. So technically all of my things are useful to myself or someone else, whereas my husband tends to hoard things that he just does not want to get rid of, and they are things that he hasn't used for years, but he cannot get rid of them. So we're gonna have to be doing a little bit of counselling and hopefully some letting go of some of the stuff that he has as well. But that is completely off topic. The point is I intend to work down my stash, hopefully to near zero by the end of 2024. Yeah. When I say it out loud, it sounds like a completely unreachable goal, but I'm gonna have a good hard crack at it. So I'm thinking what I'm going to try to do is I'll get whips finished first, because I have a bunch of stuff already currently on the needles, half sewn, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm hoping to get whips done first. I think that's the hierarchy, is whips first, and then try and get things, once they get started, they get finished, then I move on to something else. Because unfortunately a lot of the stuff that I have kind of floating around is also partially finished stuff. Whips is a big issue that takes up a lot of space. My stash is an issue, takes up a lot of space. So that is what we are working on this year. So I do have some rules. I have rules in place to stop more acquisition of stash while I'm trying to get rid of stash. So pretty much, partially because of financial reasons and also the amount of stash that I have, I am putting a no-buy on myself this entire year, for the entire year of 2024. However, there are caveats to that. Because I run a yarn business, I hand dye yarn, I will obviously need to use some of my yarn to create projects so people can see it knit, so it's kind of a marketing deal. So I will probably occasionally pull from the shop to make something with it. So that's something that I am going to allow myself to do, and I will be thinking very hard about that. And if I choose to take yarn from the shop for a project, then that project is priority and needs to be finished and off the needle so I can use it for the, marketing, and it is not going to sit and languish as another whip around my house. So that is the rules there. And for fabric, I'm cutting myself off from any kind of new fabric except one thing, if I can get it at a deal. Or if somebody wants to be really nice and buy it for me. There is one thing, and that caveat is I really, 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 really want the Love Struck layer cake by Lelo Boutique for Moda. I really adore that collection of fabric. So that is one of my caveats, is that if I can find that at a good deal, I will allow myself to buy that layer cake. If I don't find it a good deal and it's suddenly all sold out, then too bad. So the other caveat is that if I am working on a quilt trying to get through my stash and I literally have no background fabric, if I need to buy background fabric, if I need to buy backing fabric, because I don't have a whole heap of backing fabric. So I think that's pretty much it. Like, I can buy thread, I can buy needles if I need them. Obviously use up what I have first. Everything that I purchase needs to be planned for and part of an existing project that I already have fabric for, except for that layer cake if I can get it on a deal. So that's kind of it. I have no idea how I am going to track any of this, because yarn is easy. I can track my yarn, and I'm probably going to intend on tracking my yarn so I can show you guys stats at the end of the year and show you what, you know, I can do a wrap up at the end of the year. This is how much yarn I got out of my stash. Here's the projects. But for the fabric, I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to kind of quantify it, because I have a lot of fabric that is not whole cuts, plus if you use it for a quilt you might have leftovers, so you've got scraps. So yeah, I don't know whether if it's only scraps left, whether I should just like say I've used up all the fabric. I would love to have your input, so please let me know down in the comments how you think I should track this, what you would like to see. Let me know if you're doing a no buy this year as well. I'm also doing one in my personal life to help out with the finances situation there as well, but that's not craft related, so we're not really going to talk about it here unless you guys really want to know. Please let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see, any tutorials you'd like me to make as I go through doing all of this. I'm completely open to that. I would love to know if there's anything that you would like me to help you to learn. Just give me your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you. Please introduce yourself if you're new around here additionally, and let me know what you like to make. I also do want to know, actually now I've just had a thought, the little hamster's going around in my brain. When I do quilting videos, I thought I could do as project-based videos. So every project, every quilt that I make has a video going from all the way from fabric selection through cutting, through sewing, sandwiching, quilting, binding. But what I want to know from you guys is, would you like those quilting videos broken down into separate videos, or would you like it to be more of a holistic documentary type style video where I go through all those stages in one video? Or would you prefer me to break them up into separate little pieces, say every week, every 2 weeks, every month, or however long it takes to do stuff? I want to know from you guys. Do you want to see little update videos, or would you prefer to wait until the whole thing is finished and I can upload one big long video that goes through the whole creation of the quilt? So that's what I want to know from you guys. So I think for now we are going to leave this here as the introduction, but until next time, thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. Bye.